Okay. You guys are able to see my screen, right? Okay, let's start. So this with the Informatica Power Center course content, first of all, we would like to introduce the Oracle to you. We will have some hands-on on some queries of the Oracle queries, so that even if someone is not having an experience in this SQL, they can also get a knowledge of the Oracle database. And we'll just have some simple queries where you will learn how to create a table, how to insert the data into the table, what are the basic queries, that basic knowledge that is required from before starting with the Informatica. So we'll learn these basic SQL queries, select queries, and the order by queries, order by clause, and the subqueries where we will learn the inner joins. And there is some joins queries also. We will learn that what are the type of the joins which are available to us: inner join, left outer join, right outer join, so that at least you can have some basic knowledge of the Oracle. If you are very much aware of the PL SQL and the SQL, then it's very good. Okay, so just for those students who are not aware of the SQL, we can include, we have some basic lab exercises where you will learn the Oracle first of all before starting with the Informatica. Okay, so we will learn these SQL queries first of all. Then later on we will have the data warehousing concepts. Before starting with the Informatica, we always say that Informatica is an ETL tool, data warehousing tool. So first we should be aware about what is the data warehouse concepts are all about, why the data warehouse has come into the market, why already the database is there, then why we require a data warehouse. So we should know all these concepts. So we will learn what is this online transactional processing database is all about, what is this online analytical processing database. So we'll learn the data warehousing concepts. We'll learn its architecture, basic architecture in terms of the business, what is the dimensional modeling is all about. We know that we have the fact tables and the dimension tables present. So what is this fact table? What is this dimension table? What kind of data is present in the fact table, what kind of data presents in the dimension tables, what is the type of the schemas and all. So this is the theoretical concepts of the data warehousing. So we will be learning the data warehousing concepts. Okay. After that, we will do we will have a video for which you need to install the Informatica in your system. We will share with you, and if you have any issues in that, we will help you out in the installation also. Okay. So after that, we have the Power Center architecture and the components. We'll learn the architecture of the Informatica Power Center. Okay. And we will learn what this exact process of extraction, transformation, and loading is all about. So ETL process we will learn. We will learn the Power Center tools, what are the tools which are available with the Power Center, the basic idea of the Power Center, and even if when you will learn the architecture also, and after that you are going to do the installation. So it will give you the clear idea of what is this all domain is all about, how we create a domain, how we create a node, what are the services which are available over there, how the services interacted with each other. So everything will be clear to you. Okay. And moving ahead, we will learn the developer topics, because we want to learn the development through the Informatica. Okay, there is a development tools also, there is an administration tool. Administration tools will go ahead with the support one, and this developer tools like Power Center Designer, Workflow Manager, Workflow Monitor, all these things will go ahead with the developer topics. Okay. With the developer topics, whenever any new person who has joined in a particular development team, then we need to create the folder for that, how the particular folder is created for that user, how we are going to use the shared folder, how the data is, how we import the source into the Informatica, because as we are showing us we know that we are going to implement the ETL process. So ETL means extraction. You are extracting some data from the source and then you are transforming the data as per your requirement and then load the data into the target. So to extract the data, you must need to analyze your source. What kind of sources it is all about. Basically, we will learn this two types of the sources. One is a relational database, relational table, and another one will be the flat file. Okay, so we need to analyze our source, what are the types of the sources, what is the source properties and all. So we will do the source, we need to know about the source object definitions. So we will help you to analyze the source data and import the source to the source analyzer, and there will be a lab exercise also to get the source definitions, particular source definitions to your Informatica level, because everything is present in a database. Okay, these sources will be available in the database. You need to import that source and bring that source at the Informatica level. So to do that, we need to import our source and bring the source definition to the Informatica through a source analyzer. Okay, so we will learn how to analyze our source data. Okay, we will have the lab exercises also for it. Then similarly with the source, we need to load the data into the target. So we must know about our target object definitions also. So similarly, we will learn what are the types of the targets. Targets will also be like basically of two types. We will learn. One is the relational target and another one will be the flat file. Okay. Then moving ahead, we will learn the transformation concepts. There are basically various transformations available over there, but how to use these transformations, it is very important for that perspective. We will learn what are the types of the transformations which are available, what are the features and the ports are available, how to use these type of the transformations. So basic functions of the Informatica, there are some built-in functions also available, like if and else a function is there. You have the various date operation functions available within the tool. So we are going to learn all these built-in functions. We'll learn what are the transformation types, and what are its features. Okay. So it is not all about any particular transformation we are going to learn, but it will be the generic information about the transformations, how we need to use these transformations. Okay, what are the ports which will be available in the transformation, how to create the new ports, how to delete the ports, and how to use a temporary variable port also. Okay, then we will learn how to create a mapping. Okay, there is a basically with every source there is a one transformation which will be attached automatically, that is the source qualifier transformation. So in this mapping concepts components, we will basically learn how we will create a simple mapping where you are extracting your data from the source simply without performing any kind of transformation. You are going to load the data into the target. You have to create a mapping for that, and then later on you will have to validate your mapping, how the data flows from the mapping into the mapping from the source to the target. Then we'll learn how to create a session for that particular mapping, and with the session you have to create one particular job that is called as a workflow, and you need to execute that workflow so that you can get a basic flow of the data, how the data has moved from the source to the target, and how exactly you need to create your job to execute this particular operation of loading the target. Okay. Then we will have the workflow tools. In the workflow tools, it will be in the workflow manager, and you will learn how to create the relational connection in the workflow, how you are going to create the various type of the tasks which are available over there. There are basically so many tasks which is available over there. You can suppose one is the session. You have created a session for a particular session is always created for a particular dedicated mapping. But suppose if you need to execute some Unix commands at the Unix server, or suppose after the execution of the session you need to drop an email to all the recipients. So these type of the tasks are called as command task or the email task. So there are other kind of tasks also which are available in a workflow. So you need to create these particular tasks. Okay. So we will learn how we particularly design a workflow, what all its properties are there, what are the session settings that we need to do for it, everything in a workflow. Okay. And similarly, we will have the session task also. What are the properties we need to put for the sessions. Then moving ahead, we have the monitor, workflow monitor. As I said, we need to execute a workflow. So after the execution of your workflow, you need to monitor it. Okay, what are the, is it like it is a failed or it is succeeded or failed at which condition, what is the data error which is which it is throwing. So you should know what exactly the
There are 4 other callers on the call.
And you can even open this particular session log file also. Okay, in the session log file you can even check an error if it is failed, what kind of error it is all about. Once that you are able to know the error, you can then try to resolve these errors and make your workflow run completely or succeed. Okay. Then moving ahead, we have the debugger tool. What this debugger is all about. Debugger will help you to know exactly whether your data is getting transformed or not. See, suppose I have this data which is coming from the source and I need to load the data into the target. So before loading the data into the target, I am performing some kind of operation, or you can say that I am performing the data transformation. So through the debugger, I can check the data flow, how the data has extracted from this source, whether it is getting transformed completely, whether it's getting transformed as per my requirement or not, and then it should move and we should load the data into the target. So debugger will give you the exact complete flow, how the data has moved from the source to the target, and whether how the data has been transformed, okay, for each and every row. So we'll learn this debugger tool also, how to use this debugger tools and what are its particular features. Okay. After that,
there are 3 other callers on the call.
Operations that can be performed with the expression transformation. All these things we'll learn in the expression transformation. Okay. Then we have the different type of the ports. There is an input port over there, output port, and the variable port. So how to evaluate these ports, how the values are captured for these ports. So we will learn all these type of the ports over here. There will be the input port. The source will always have all ports as an output port, because we have to extract the data from the source. There is nothing like which is coming inside the source data. So every time the source is having the all output ports. Similarly with the task, everything will be an input to the target, because we are going to load the data into the target. So all the ports to the target will be having the only input ports available over there. In between that, with the transformation, we have the 3 ports: input, output, and the variable port. Using the variable port, you can perform some kind of you can use it as a temporary port, and you can perform some kind of operation, like you need to save the previous row data, or you need to calculate the data. That time you can use this variable port. Okay. Then moving ahead, we have the filter transformation. In the filter transformation, we will learn what is the filter properties. This is a very small transformation. It is included with the expression, because so that you can create some kind of the complex mappings also. Okay. So with the filter transformation, you need to give the filter conditions and all. What is the filter properties? Every transformation is having their own properties. So it's very easy to learn the transformations. What is this transformation is all about. But when to use which type of transformation, it is very important, because same operation can be performed in a different way. So which is the best possible way to use or to implement it, it is very important. So basically we are going to learn over here when to use which type of the transformations. Okay. After the filter transformation, then we'll learn the aggregator transformation. For the aggregator transformation, we have to use the aggregate functions and all, sorted data, unsorted data. So everything we'll learn in the aggregator transformations. There is one very good concept associated with the aggregator transformation, that is an incremental aggregation. See, suppose already your table which is containing the sum of all the salaries of the employees. If the new employee has also joined, then automatically the sum should be updated and it should include the sum salaries of the new employees also. Okay. So sum should get updated automatically. So to get the sum, it needs to get the salaries of all the employees. So what it is going to do? It will take, you want to get the sum of all the salaries again? No. What we are going to do, we have the old salary with us, right? Old sum of salaries with us. So we will now, this time we will calculate the new sum of salaries of the new employees and add it to the old salary. So it will give me the updated one, updated sum of salaries. So like this concept, the incremental aggregation, we save the old data and you will calculate the aggregate calculation of the new one data and then add it to the old one. So like this, the incremental aggregation is implemented, and we are going to use this concepts of incremental aggregation to the aggregator transformation in Informatica. Okay. Then we have the joiner transformation. In the joiner, as we learn, we know we have this inner join and the outer join. Similarly, to implement that thing, we have the joiner transformation also. In the joiner transformation, you need to mention what kind of join you want to implement. We will have one master source, and we will have the detailed source. So everything we'll learn, what are the type of the conditions that we need to give into the joiner transformation, what is the usage one, when we have to use the nested joins. So everything we'll learn in the joiner transformation, and we'll have the lab exercises also for aggregator transformation also and the joiner transformation also. Okay. Then moving ahead, we have working with the flat files. The flat files are very important. You know, you can implement the SQL and then write some queries with the relational databases. But what about the flat files? Basic flat file operations, like most of the time, whenever we see any flat file, the flat file name itself contains some very important information which is required and which is need to be tracked and keep it into the target. Because suppose the source file name itself contains some particular country code or contains the date information. So you need to extract the source from the flat file name itself, this particular date information or the country code. So you need to track the source file name. So these type of the small basic operations are very important for the flat files. So we will learn working with the flat files, and we will use the flat files as a source and will perform that kind of operation with the flat files. Okay. Then we will have the sorter transformation. Here in the sorter transformation, we will learn what are the limitations of the sorter transformation is all about, and what all properties are available, which type of properties you can use for performing which kind of operations. Okay. Then the basic things, like we need to propagate the attributes. These are the very small things that is very important. Like you have the multiple ports and you need to link the multiple ports, and or you can think of if one value is changed and you want to track it to the completely to the target. So how you are going to track it? So we will learn the propagate attributes values, what is the shared folder is all about, how to create the shortcuts, why we create the shortcuts of the source file, because most of the time if we need to import a source, we don't import it in our own folder. We import it into the shared folder, because so that all the developer can access them, they can create the shortcuts of that particular source and they can use it. So that if the source definition has changed, we have to just make the changes into the shared folder and automatically everything will get updated. Okay. And there is one more big transformation which is called as a lookup transformation. This is also the very important transformation, because here you are going to learn the various types of the lookup transformation, what are its properties are available there. They are basically connected and unconnected lookups. So what is this all about, connected lookup and unconnected lookup? So I learned some basic about the lookup transformation over here. Then moving ahead, we have similarly like this an update strategy transformation. In the update strategy transformation, using some operations, you can insert the data, you can delete the data, you can reject the data from the target table, and you can update the data also. So we will learn this update strategy transformation. Then we will have another transformation, which is the router transformation. See, with the filter transformation, on using the filter condition, you can filter out the data. Suppose if I want to route the data to the various targets, there are basically 3 targets over there, and I want to route the data to these 3 different targets. So we need to use the router transformation in that condition. So we will learn this router transformation also. Then the conditional lookup, as I said, we will learn the basic lookup also. After that, we will go ahead with its advanced features also. Okay, we will learn at what kind of the conditions, which kind of how to use the conditional lookups and how to put the conditions and use the lookup transformation. So I'll learn the conditional lookup also. For every concept, we have the lab exercises also included with it. And we'll learn the various type of the targets. If it is an Oracle relational source target, or if it is a flat file, so we'll learn all information about the target. There's some target operations also which needs to be used. We need to suppose dynamically generate the flat files. As per some data is coming from the source, and the source data contains the various countries' data. So on the basis of those countries, I want to dynamically generate the target files. So this is the concept with the target. This is the operation which is basically uses the target properties. So we will learn what all these scenarios are all about and how to implement them. Okay. Then moving ahead, we have the maplets. Maplets is like the reusable components. Suppose I can create a mapping. I can have just one source and one target loaded into one source. The data is coming and I'm loading it into the target. So I can create a reusable component also of it, so that I can use it into the various kinds of mappings. The same component can be implemented and it can be used into the various operations. The one basic maplets that we create is for the key generation. If from the source the data is extracting and we need to load the data into the target with the source rows, we need one particular sequence that needs to be generated. Every time the new rows comes, it should have the sequence value greater than the old one. So like this, the maplet can be created for the key generation and can be used into the various mappings. Okay. Similarly, as I can create a maplet, I can even create a transformation also. Like as I'm saying that I have the expression transformation, which is using to create aggregated transformation and expression transformation to do the aggregate calculations. So to do the aggregate calculation operation also, I can save it into the create a reusable component of it. Suppose the operation is like I need to concatenate the first name and the last name. So every time I can create, I can have a reusable transformation which gives the concatenation of the first name and the last name. So even if any kind of the source is available to me, I can use this reusable component and it will give me the output as a first name concatenated with the last name. Okay. And moving ahead, we have the sequence generator transformation. This is also another type of the transformation. Then we will learn the dynamic lookup. In this dynamic lookup is like it is with the lookup condition only. In the lookup, we have the static caches and there's a dynamic caches. So how to deal with the dynamic things. So that also we are going to learn in a dynamic lookup. Okay. Then we will create the concurrent and the sequential workflows. Suppose like all the workflows are attached in a sequence order, how to attach them in a sequence order and then execute them and how to use it as a concurrent one. So everything we'll learn in the sequential and the concurrent workflows. Okay. There are some other basic transformations also like the union transformation and the rank transformation. These are the very small transformations, but these transformations also we will learn. Okay. Then the most important thing that we do is like the error handling. If suppose there is a one particular kind of error, how to handle that error, like when to abort a session, when to continue the session with an error or anything, then we are going to learn into the error handling talks. Okay. Then we will learn the workflow task. As I already explained you, the command task is available with us, the email task, so how to create them and how to use them in our particular workflow, that we are going to learn over here. Then once you create the mapping and the workflow, everything, then the important thing comes up as a performance tuning, because the performance is very important. Because right now you might deal with the one record or the two records, but what about in the practical scenarios? We have the millions of the records, so you need to deal with the millions of the records at a time, millions of the rows. So we will do the performance tuning, we will identify the bottlenecks and how to remove these bottlenecks, and then how the advanced topics are also available, like push down optimization concept is there. So we will learn all these things in the performance tuning. Okay. And moving ahead, we have the parameters and variables. We will learn how to use these parameters and variables. Suppose the source file is sending the 10 days of data, but I want to extract only today's date of data. So why should I extract the 9 days of remaining 9 days? So I can use the parameters and the variables where I can mention my date as a today's date only, and then once the loading is done for the today's date, automatically the value get incremented by the one. So tomorrow when it is when again the mapping is going to run, it will extract only the data for the tomorrow's date and load the data into the target. So these type of the small basic concepts that can be implemented with the parameters and variables. So it is very important to learn what all these parameters and variables are all about. Okay. After that we will learn the slowly changing dimension. There are some dimensions which get changed after a particular interval of the time. So we will learn what is the slowly changing dimensions are all about and what are its various types. Basically we will learn the type 1 and the type 2. In type 1, what will happen, like suppose there is some data which is presented at the target. Okay, we will check whether this particular employee data is present in the target or not. If it is present, then update the data. If it is not present, then insert the data, right? So this is called the slowly changing dimension type 1. Suppose I want to track the historical data, because most of the organization, there are so many employees which are working over there, and they have moved from one location to the another location. So I want to know now what all location he has worked on. So I should have a track of all the locations with the date wise, from which date to which date he was working over there. So I am maintaining the historical data. What this will do is, like, suppose in this data we'll keep the track of for the one employee we have the multiple records, and with multiple records every time this is getting changed, okay, with a particular date information also. So you are maintaining the historical data, and that can be implemented with the slowly changing dimension type 2. Okay. That's all included into the course content. Do you have any queries? Salil and Meena?
No, I'm
Okay. So that's all. If you wish, if you have any other things that you want to include into the course content, you can please let me know, so that I can even include that kind of topics also into the this particular course content, because we designed the course content as per the students' requirements. So if you have anything you would like to include into the course content, please let me know.
one thing is, how are we going to install the software? Are we going to install it on a local machine, or it's going to be on a central server?
It will be like it will be on through the VM. We will install on your personal laptop. We will install the virtual machine and then Windows XP, and then we'll install the Oracle and Informatica. We will share the video with you, so you need to install it by your own. And if you have any queries in between that, if you face any issues in between that, then we'll help you out in that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we have the installation video with us, so we'll share it with you. Because if you after getting that Power Center architecture, if you install by your own, if you do the installation, it can give you the clear picture of what are the services which are available over here, and how the services interacted with each other, how we create these nodes, domains, and everything. Okay.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. This is Mayur, and I just received the meeting invite with a link. So it looks like your session has been going for a while, but as we didn't receive
it is almost completed. We're just discussing the course content. We have okay. So you joined just now.
Yeah, I just joined in.
Okay. So you're the only person who has joined just now, or someone else
No,
over there?
my friend Karan with me. Karanjeet.
Oh, okay. Okay, Karan,
So
can
if
we,
you want
Pooja, can
have
I,
another demo session?
Karan, can you do one thing? Actually, we are almost done with the demo and we just recorded the session. So I'll do one thing. I'll just try to share this recorded session with you guys, and also you can
Yeah,
check
or
it.
if you want, I can have another demo
You can
session.
go through this
You can
video,
schedule.
and if you still need a demo, direct demo, and we can plan again tomorrow sometime. Okay.
Okay, yeah. If you can send us an email, that would be great.
Sure.
And,
You can. I think you got this meeting details from Srini, right?
Yeah, but it was we were trying to refresh our emails, but there were some delays. So I just got the email right now from you.
No problem. Yeah, I'll do one thing. I'll just share this recorded session with Srini. You can check with him and you can go through that. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much.
And can you also like email the PDF, like the one which you are?
I'll
have
do
on the
that.
one?
Yeah, I'll do
Yes,
that. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Okay. Thanks very much.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Is there any other questions from Veena and Sally?
So once we have installed the software on the virtual machine, like how long do we get the access for that?
It will be I have this virtual machine and the software from around 3 years, 4 years, so you can use it for a very long time. It won't be any problem.
Okay. So I mean, once the course is over, even after that, we'll have the access for it.
Basically, Salil,
It is
it's
installed in the
yeah, it's not like shorter time. It will be for a lifetime software, Salil. So you can use it for almost for lifetime.
Okay.
It's just like a software. Okay. Not one. Any other questions from Veena?
Hi Satish. Yeah, when are you going to start the session?
Mostly the sessions will start from Monday EST timings. Veena, I'll let you know the complete schedule. Okay, I'll send you the complete schedule of that training. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Is there any other technical questions? You can talk to
Pooja.
yeah, Pooja.
So Sadiq, the sessions will be
As of
on.
now, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sadiq, yeah. Sessions will be in the evening EST.
Mostly evening EST only. The timings would be 9:30 EST timings.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Mostly, Salil, you will get the complete schedule from Srini. Okay, I'll send you the schedule to Srini so that you can check with Srini also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for joining Veena and Salil and Karanjit. I'll share the recorded session also, recorded demo also. You can go through that. And see you in the regular classes from Monday.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pooja. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.